Welcome to the O Takeover. We're here with Dovy. We spent the last couple of weeks flying between Milan, Cyprus, and now we're here in Malta, getting to know each other, building up some products together. We decided to sit down, do a bit of a Q&A.
Yeah.
So you can see how we both came up.
Amazing. Thank you for having me.
Good to have you here. I think everybody in Europe definitely knows who you are, but I think it might be nice just do a quick introduction on yourself.
So my name is Dovydas Pinskus, also known as DovyFX. I'm from Lithuania. I trade currencies and indexes. I've been doing that for over 7 years. I also built a community around it on my Instagram and other platforms. And I love doing what I'm doing. So thank you for having me again.
Coldest rapper on the rock, better say my name. Two-step in the game, make me a big lane. Call me a Maltese HY, can't make it rain. Getting stopped by Tracy, but she ain't from the lane. Might see me in a Lambo, I go, but I'm on mode.
Just maybe I just got to ask you a question straight off the bat. You said you've been trading for 7 years.
Yes.
I know your age, you're 24. You're obviously extremely young and successful. So tell us a little bit how you started, and did you have a mentor to get you into this space?
Okay. So basically the whole story started when I moved to US just to finish my high school and play basketball. And I basically was living there by myself. I was trying to make my living for myself. I was doing all different kind of things, trying to start online business. I was being a waiter, in different restaurants. And I was trying to find a way to make money, So I got into trading when I was 17 years old. I was still in high school. I was still playing basketball. So I was not full-time into it. So I was on and off. But eventually I started making money and I realized that it's something I can do full-time and kind of shift everything to one side and focus on this one thing, that's trading. And along the way, I started creating a community to help other people be successful in this industry as well.
Epic. Did you have someone to guide you in those early days, or how did you do it?
So basically, I was scared and I didn't have enough money to invest in courses and mentors. So I was focusing on free education such as YouTube, Google, books, which are cheap for trading, psychology and stuff. So I was all self-taught from the beginning to the end. It was just basically I learned a lot of basic stuff. And for the other things, I was just doing a lot of back testing, self-learning on the charts and so on. So yeah,
Nice.
self-taught.
And obviously you moved everything aside, so you were talking about waitering and starting an online business and stuff like that. What was the aha moment? Was it a big win, or was it something that you knew just about your energy was definitely focused on trading? What was that moment for you?
So as I was learning, I met online some other traders that was also coming up. So we would all talk to each other and we would all share tips and what we found out, how everything went and our results. And we built this community of 5-6 guys, We would just talk online. And then after some things, I found out some things that really helped my trading, such as journaling, following my trades, building a trading system, and realizing that trading is not about one lucky trade or one lucky winning streak, but about having a system with statistical edge that works after 100, 200, 1,000 trades. And that was my biggest aha moment. So that's when I became consistent in my trading, and that's when I started seeing returns of trading rather than, I didn't call myself consistent after hitting one big trade. I didn't call myself consistent after winning for 1 week. I called myself consistent after I found a statistical edge. I've tested it for many trades for a long period of time, and it was profitable. And I was like, okay, now this is how I'm going to do it, and this is what turned myself into profitability.
Nice. When you realized all of this and you knew that you could do this, that you could make money, trading.
Yeah.
You obviously had that one time where you called up your family, called up your friends, you said, "Hey, I'm a trader. This is what I'm going to do in my life."
Yeah.
What was the reaction?
Their reaction was not very positive. At first when I started doing it, they were like, "Oh, this is gambling. Oh, I don't think it's going to work." But then even when I was 17 or even younger, let's say my dad would give me a starting capital, let's say $100, and I would start to trade and I would flip that account. I was a beginner. I didn't know about systems and edge. I flipped that account and I gave my dad back his money. He was like, oh, what is going on? So he was surprised. But as the time went, they started seeing my returns, change of my lifestyle, change of my confidence. And then I dropped out of university after 2 years. And they were going crazy. You need to graduate. You need to graduate. They were always stressing about it.
And you were on a scholarship at the time, right?
I was on a scholarship. I was actually like doing well in regards of education, And I dropped out and they were going crazy. But I was like, I am making more money than this professor that is teaching me. I think I would rather focus my time and energy on this than sitting in a class. And they didn't believe me at first. But as the time went, as they saw everything change in my world, meeting amazing people, change of my lifestyle, how I make money, then they got comfortable with it and they kind of like was okay. So,
They started to embrace it.
yes.
Obviously, any young person that's trying to do something online or maybe even starting to trade is going to hear what you just said right now and be like, okay, cool, I'm going to quit. I'm going to quit everything I'm doing. I'm just going to focus on this. So obviously there's a couple of more, what would you say, concrete certainties that you have to have.
I have advice actually.
Yeah, if you
I have
a little bit of
advice for everyone that is in university and wants to drop out. I would never recommend dropping out of university. At least you have something going on. And if at least that something is making you at least a bit of money. You cannot be just in university thinking that you're going to create something and then, I want to drop out. It's not how you should do it. You need to create something while you are in university. And if it starts working, then kind of make these, analyze things if it's better to focus on university or if it's better for you to put the time in that thing that you're building.
So really, really prove it to yourself to make sure that it will sustain you. Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I am a high school and college, let's say, dropout, but I always went back. So I dropped out, let's say the first time, but the idea really didn't sustain me. So I went back. And then I learned, obviously, after doing it, dropping out once, that's not the right way to do it. You obviously have to build it up properly, prove it that it will work, that it'll sustain you, and make sure that you can come out the other side.
Exactly, yeah. So what was the thing that made you drop out of college? What was that first thing that happened that was like, maybe, or it's just not liking the educational part of it?
Yeah, so I think I was good at school. I was always good at learning things because I always thought that if someone was at the top of the class teaching about a subject, they're able to learn it. And there's obviously all these people around and they're able to absorb that knowledge. So I knew that I was capable of absorbing the knowledge. However, I did get attracted to money.
Yes.
I was working like you in bars and hospitality, and I was quite good at it. On the side, I would set up extra gigs and stuff like that where I would do, evening work. I would do private parties. I would do different catering events. And then I started doing, let's say on the side of that, web development, creating websites for small businesses.
Yes.
And obviously you get one job, you make €400. You're like, whoa.
This is it.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I can do this for a living. So you quit. Or you think you can quit and then try focus on that. However, just wasn't ready enough. Didn't have the true ability to sell, let's say in the appropriate way. And the appropriate way is to sell value. Don't sell the product, always sell value. And only when I learned how to effectively sell value to a person over just selling a technology, then I knew, okay, cool, I can quit what I'm doing right now and I can focus on this.
And what's your number one tip would be for people to sell value rather than just a service or product?
The best way to sell value is ask as many questions about the person you're trying to sell to. So whatever the product is you have, whether it be a trading product, whether it be a website, whether it's even, let's say, lunch at a restaurant, ask the person a couple of questions. Find out what their key interests are. And if you're selling, let's say, a product to a business, find out what their pain points are. So I'd always get into it like, what are you selling? How many do you sell a month? If I was to get you another 5 of those sales, would you be happy? And the second they start saying yes, yes, yes after every question, then they believe that
kind of also touch their feelings a little bit. Yeah,
you're really focusing on them. I'm not focusing on me. I'm not asking about my money. I'm asking about you and your money. And if what I do can help you have a little bit more of that, would you be happy paying X.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's very good.
I end up selling from 400 euros, one website. I ended up selling at, let's say, about 40,000 euros per website, just by getting really into the weeds of your problems in your business.
Yeah.
So the way to do it is just ask.
And how did you scale it?
Slowly.
Yeah.
So obviously when you do a job, that's your portfolio. So you got to build on your portfolio. And everybody says niche down, it's very, very true. So you focus on a particular segment, you sell one project, you have obviously a proof of good work, you have a good client review, you can go to the next project and the next project. So it took about 3 years to go from about 400 to 500 euros a sale.
Okay.
And then about after 3 or 4 years, I was averaging 8 to 10K per sale.
Nice.
So no matter what the project was, the minimum would be 10K.
So as your experience and your reviews grew, you also increased your
I would do things
price.
like I would put out messages online like, okay, you can only work with our agency if your business has 10 employees.
Okay.
Right? So then straight away when someone goes to that website and they're, let's say, a startup with maybe, 400 or 500 euros, they'll realize that maybe this agency isn't one that I can work with yet, but I will in the future. Or I'd focus, like, for example, you come in, you talk to me, I'd say, what's your annual turnover? I typically have clients with an annual turnover of 1 million euros.
Okay.
And they on average spend 10% of that on marketing, So now I know that they have 10% of 1 million to spend on marketing, which is 100 grand.
Yeah.
Website's going to cost 40, and then we're going to do SLAs to get the rest of the money out, But I would start finding the companies to work with me that way.
Okay.
By sort of putting up content that would stop out, like, for once a better word, stop out certain clients coming to you. And that's how you do it. So when a client comes in the door, they've already self-validated themselves. They come in and they say, yeah, we do 5 million a year. We got 20 employees. This is our pain points. And they're already thinking they're spending, 40, 50K with you. So this is how I did it.
Very good.
Took a lot of time though. And I learned a lot. I went to a course which is called Uguros.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was a boot camp over 8 weeks, and it was literally called a 10K boot camp. Which
boot camp for what?
For agencies.
Oh, for agencies. Okay.
Yeah. So if you were an agency, you would be able to go to this course. You would spend 8 weeks with mentors, and they would literally ingrain in you this value-based selling.
Have you ever thought about doing a boot camp yourself?
Yes, I'm thinking about it. I have a couple of different concepts which I'm trying to put together.
And we're not selling this. This is a real question.
Yeah. No, it will be available. I'm just trying to really figure out which direction to take the first one. My goal is to try document and detail and to offer out for free how to change mindset. I think mindset in everybody, especially I'm going to say our age group, even though there's 10 years between us.
Yeah.
I think the mindset is you're either stuck or you've realized that you can do something more with yourself, right? So I'm really going to try to focus on mindset, and I'm going to focus on employee mindset to becoming, let's just say, employer mindset, so that you can realize that you can be bigger than just, let's say, for example, an employee in an organization, even in our organization.
Yeah, because if every employee doesn't feel like he's employee, he actually wants to put in real work and help to grow this whole business,
yes,
right?
Exactly. So the idea will be to try document what I learned and I understood.
Okay, wait. So what do you think, how would you make an employee feel like that? How would you make an employee feel like he doesn't come into the work at 9 and leave at 5? How he actually wants to be part of the business. It's
not even about coming at 9 and leaving at 5.
Yeah.
That's part of it. That's great. And you should come in at 9 and leave at 5. You shouldn't have to do extra. You should do what you do in your daily day. But for example, let's just take my approach. I went to work for a company called Glenpatrick Water Coolers. And when I went there, I said, hey, what's my job? I was a key account manager. So I was trying to get leads to sell water in Ireland. Mm-hmm. So I was calling people, cold calling, telesales, hey, do you want to buy water? And they were like, I have a tap. And then I'd be like, yeah, I know, but this is filtered mineral water. Okay. Special. Imagine how much you could treat your employees where they didn't have to go to a tap. They could feel the luxury of going to a water cooler and drinking fresh mineral water from et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Simple things.
And they would, but I knew that lead was me looking up a phone book or me looking up on the internet and trying to find those people. Yeah. But I went different about it. I went to the manager and said, hey, let me build you a website and I'll get us leads through SEO organically. So when people are searching for water, they're going to find us. We went from 4 leads a week to 16 leads a week. I didn't get anything extra for doing that. I did that for me in the company, so I had more leads for myself.
Okay.
So that I could hit my targets.
Yes.
So it's not about coming in and waiting for the work to be handed to you. It's a case of thinking, how can you drum up the business?
Exactly.
How can you make this business better by just being there? You are taking money for being there, so you should be adding value to the business internally.
And I feel like all those above you see those things.
Yeah,
And you
everybody sees it.
have way more bigger chances to grow, to get better, have a better position in the company, right? Because if it's easy to notice those little things. And what we were talking about, this assistant that helps you manage the trips.
Yeah.
Remember when we were driving?
Yeah.
It's like I made plans with you, then I made plans with Jay, and you guys didn't even communicate. And this guy in between managed it, and everything was fine. It was like great. I really love that.
Yeah, and then obviously you're noticed for that. But one thing that I think everybody misses, especially in our generation, this is a competition. It's not anything left or right of that. It is a competition. Even though it doesn't feel like you're fighting for survival, you are. This is a competition. You have to come out on top. You have to do better than your peers.
Yeah.
And nobody thinks like that. We need to start thinking like that. And I think this shift in mindset will be very, very advantageous to the individual, but also to the greater business and to the ecosystem and to the peers. Imagine if you could develop that sort of natural, healthy competition within, a section of the field, like let's say for a sales department. That makes a lot of sense because now I know that I'm there to do the best I can. A, to be noticed, but B, to get rewarded.
Yes.
So
do you like to reward people?
Always.
I noticed that, yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that would be close to us sees that and feels that because it's all about sharing, first of all.
Yeah.
But if I benefit, then the people who helped me benefit get rewarded.
This guy is one of the most generous people I've ever seen. Like he's very high achieved. Like you have a lot of achievements in your life, but also you're so like down to earth, easy to talk, very kind, always thank you, always please. It's a big respect for me for you.
Yeah, thanks very much. That's the way.
That's great.
That's the way.
So with that being said, is it better to be loved or feared?
Well, definitely don't lead by fear.
Okay.
Definitely not like that. But I think you have to have a balance and be able to strike it well. So obviously, love is about nourishing. It's about making sure that everybody understands what's good, what's bad, how to do something, without being afraid to do it. But I do feel knowing where the balance is and where the edge of that balance is, and that's the other side of it.
But if you had to lean one way or another, which way would you go?
I would say in the past, a lot of people would say, especially let's say working in a high stress environment, that I'm very direct, and people might class that as some level of fear. But I've learned from those days, they don't always work. We've lost very, very good people in the organization because maybe you have a little bit more disruptive attitude towards a task or to a challenge. These were the early days when we were, you have teething problems, you have growing pains, so that's stressful. And especially at a young age when you're trying to do something huge and people are, let's say, stopping you, you get annoyed, and that could be seen as fear. But I think there's been a small revolution inside, let's say myself, but as well with the other directors and stuff like that inside the company. We're more of a, let's see what happens. Let's talk about it. Let's think about it. Let's do it together. So I think we're flipping between the two from early stages. Now that we're a little bit more.
So like you need to adapt in life. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more feared. Sometimes you need to be more loved.
But it's not fear as fear is defined. It's this is Owen and you can approach him. However, if we're trying to achieve something that's not achieved, there's going to be a different side,
Yes.
And when you see that, you'll realize it.
It's a good answer. I like it.
What about you? Love or fear? I think you're a lover.
I'm a lover, because in my business, I don't need to be feared because at this position that I'm at, I'm basically lone wolf, I'm all by myself. I'm trying to build this brand, trading all by myself. I'm not, now I'm also building businesses. Once I have team, once I have employees, maybe when I begin, I'll rather be more feared just to get everyone going. And once that machine is rolling, then I'll flip back to my good side.
Yeah. One, let's say, a bit of advice for when you do that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, two pieces of advice. Definitely employ someone and employ them early when you start your businesses,
100%.
because that will free your mind for your business. Number two, if you start with fear, which, okay, we're going to say fear, but if you start with that, let's say, fear-dominated approach, you'll find when you look back at your team that they're afraid to do anything a little bit outside the box, which would assist you.
Yes.
Because they're controlled by that potential repercussion.
Yeah, when I say feared, I don't mean too much. I don't want to scare everybody, but kind of slightly keep them on their toes, so they're not too relaxed. Oh, we're getting paid, I just come here to check in and check out.
Yeah.
So they also want to grow and then also reward. So I'm kind of looking at business very similar the way you look at it,
Yeah.
So you need to, the way I look at goals in the business and life, you need to set a very big goal, then put small goals in between. And every time you achieve that small goal, reward yourself or your team or everyone around you. So you keep motivated and you keep moving forward towards your big goal. So that's how I look at life in general and business.
Yeah. Oh, speaking about goals, so how did how do you set goals, and how do you achieve those?
So basically, I like to write them down. So because doing everything in your head kind of gets freaky, like crazy, just wobbled, I like to write things down. And like I said, I write down one big goal and then summarize them in all small goals. How can I achieve that one big goal? And like I said, I like to reward myself. Like sometimes it can be a nice purchase. Sometimes it can be a nice dinner. Sometimes it can be these little rewards. And it's like, oh, okay, I'm a step closer. I'm going to reward myself. And then you keep moving forward like this. So I have my goal. I don't want to share this with public, but I have a goal. I know how I'm going to achieve it. So I'm working towards it. Okay. It's not just by some work, but it's also with relationships. It's also with family. It's also with the health. That's how you're going to achieve that goal, because they're all connected. So yeah, that's how we look at it.
And are your goals mainly monetary?
Oh, no. It's about family. It's about love. It's about relationships, this is going to be like, I think it's the most important thing is to find what makes you happy, because if you're happy, then I feel like everything else is good. If you're happy and you're positive, automatically your health should be fine. If you're not stressing too much, if you're happy and you're positive, your family is gonna be happy. If you're happy and positive, your friends are gonna be happy to be with you because you have this good energy. And that's how I look at it. So you find things that makes you happy, and then you work towards it, right?
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. I personally would I agree with all of that for sure.
Yeah.
But I also think it's super important to understand when you want something, that 9 times out of 10 there's a financial road you must walk in order to get that.
Yes.
So whether you want to do something and then hopefully reward yourself with, for example, the purchase, like you said, maybe a nice watch, maybe a holiday, or maybe a dinner, you obviously need money at that point in order to do it. So one thing that I know I had always set in my goals list, so I had a bunch of goals as well, happiness, lifestyle, all of these different things. But one key thing I knew that would underpin it all would be to be having a certain financial capability. So what I pretty much did, me and my brother, every single Friday, we would say, what did we achieve that week? Mm-hmm. And what was the outcome to the bank?
Yes.
This is for our business. Then on the Monday, what are we going to achieve this week? And what will the outcome be? And then we would relook at that on Friday.
Yes.
And we would do that. There's obviously 20 working days, 4.5 weeks a month or whatever it is. We would then at the end of each month say, okay, did we achieve what we said we were going to do mm-hmm. for the business, i.e. our finances? And then can we give ourselves a financial plus, for example, let's say an increment in wages
yes.
the next month? And we set ourselves a target by the age of, I believe, like 22 or 23 to have at least X amount of thousand per month in income.
Yeah.
You know, and all of your other goals are there, but I would definitely suggest to everybody that there has to be some type of knowledge around how you're going to get down that financial path and achieve that,
Yes.
you know, that end number, because that end number is going to be a big part of you being able to pay for health insurance, you being able to pay for your car, you being able to go on that, you know.
Of course, yes.
So I would think everybody needs to think of that. Nothing's going to come.
I would rather be happy on a yacht than be happy in the basement, right? Yeah. So if we're talking about money, then it's obvious, right?
Yes, absolutely. So we were away at the conference in Cyprus in Sigma FX, which went very, very well. You were obviously there with us as well. We were hanging out in the evenings by the pool and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I noticed that you were doing some, I don't know, reconnaissance on Tradelocker.
Yes.
So maybe you want to give us a little bit of feedback. How did that go?
So if we're going to this
So we
trading side now, you know, trading side. Yeah, I started a new 100,000 funding challenge, and it's on Tradelocker. So it's my first time actually using Tradelocker. I checked it out before, but it's now actually using it. And I want to say one thing about Tradelocker. First of all, I really, really like it. And another thing, I recommend it to some people, some other people, some friends, and I wanted to hear their feedback. And their feedback was, oh, I don't understand it. This is too much of everything. And this reminded me of one thing. When just iPhones came out, our parents were like, oh, I will never use it. I don't understand it. Now they're on their iPhones. When the Facebook just came out, our parents, oh, I don't understand it. I'm never going to use it. Now they're on Facebook. I see the same thing happening with Tradelocker that happened to both of these things. It's once you understand everything around it, it's such a good thing because it has a lot of things. You also have lot size and risk management coming on the Tradelocker as well, right?
Super soon, yeah.
So instead of you going to different apps, for example, TradingView to analyze, this to open the trade, that to calculate lot size, you have everything in one place. So I feel like now people are kind of like wobbling around it, but if they really get into it, and of course, every app, if you look at Instagram 10 years ago and Instagram now, it has a lot of changes.
Yes.
Same thing is going to happen with Tradelocker. But I think as the time goes, people will get into it and then they won't see a way out. You know, it's a great app.
Yeah.
It's not promoting. It's my honest opinion because I'm using it for now 3 weeks, I think, 2 weeks, like doing the funding challenge. Yeah. I'm also up on the funding challenge. So it's a good experience with Tradelocker. So I'm happy with it. Yeah.
Very nice. One thing that to note that with Tradelocker, there is in a couple of weeks going to be like an academy, and all of those videos will also be on YouTube. So like anybody that is learning about it can pretty much like just on YouTube, how do you take a position using Tradelocker, and all the explanation is going to be there. And then soon the academy will be open. People can join that as well, and hopefully one day learn from traders like yourself as well, which maybe they'll someday be able to work on your platform using Tradelocker, if maybe that's coming soon. Maybe.
So why, since you're a big part of this, right? Tell me and other people watching, why would people choose Tradelocker? Why should they choose Tradelocker? Why?
Right now, like you said, people are going to 3, 4, 5 different apps at any stage just to be able to take one position on their prop or with their broker. The goal with Tradelocker is to allow a novice trader or a very, very experienced trader like you be able to go to a single platform and do everything that they want in one place. So while there's, let's say, a lot of things to do with Tradelocker, the goal is that is the actual goal, so that you don't have to have these different products open in order to do one task. Because every time you go from product to product to product to product to be able to actually, give yourself the confidence to do that trade or to take that position or to close that trade, you're losing time.
Yes.
And time is obviously the biggest nemesis of every trader, because getting in and getting out is what it's about, and that's time. So we decided to go this route so that we could try to save people time, so they could be more free to get in and out when they want. We also felt that there was a small gap in the market to have something different. And we felt that this year, 2023, was the right time for us in our organization to get into the trading technology from the actual platform side. Because obviously for the last 10 years, we've been in it from let's say the back office side and the support side and stuff like that. But this is our first, front of house trading platform venture. It's going very, very well. But the goal is to consolidate everything that a trader does in one right now, today.
So you don't have to jump from all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Yeah, that's why I said I like it. And some people, maybe they don't know you personally, but I know you personally. We talk to each other, and I know all these updates that's coming, and you tell me them. It's exciting,
Yeah, that's what we're about. We're about trying to create a single tool for you as a trader, or you as a person who has a business to do with trading or in the ecosystem of trading, to make it more sticky for you for your audience.
What's the biggest update that's coming to Tradelocker now? Next biggest update?
Yeah, okay. So the next biggest update is going to be the strategy testing, back testing, and automated trading. That's going to be, let's say, version 1, a light version soon. It's going to be like a developer kit where developers can go and build out their strategy.
Yeah.
It's going to be in Python, and you can do obviously yourself self-coding. But let's say the seasoning to it is going to be the fact that we're going to be introducing a box, which is AI, so large language model, which will be able to take in your input. Hey, create me an indicator that watches out for bull flag momentum, and show me buys and sells.
Okay, yeah.
Or ABCD pattern, draw it up and mark it up on a chart
automatically.
Yeah, and like you can even drill it down. How I want to focus on Euro USD, or I want to focus on gold.
Do you think other competitors are scared?
Right now,
I would be. Yeah. I would be.
Right now, I'm fairly sure there is people looking.
Yeah.
Some of our competitors are also doing similar things. I do feel the fact that we're, let's say, new kids on the block, that we will get a lot of attention. I feel that we're already getting traction. We're finding that our tool is very, very in line with a lot of prop companies right now. But also it's very in line with the user and the business behind. So the actual prop owner, the broker owner, the social media influencer, the live streamer. We're thinking about all of those individuals. We're not just thinking about a monthly fee for ourselves.
Okay.
So like some of our good friends are, let's say live streamers, and they trade, let's say, every day at the same time on YouTube. They go YouTube Live.
Yeah.
We decided to bring that into our platform in the next, let's say,
you can watch and trade at the same time in the same platform.
Press go live. And your screen then goes to your users. Whatever you mark
for the streamer side, because some people are just traders, some people also like me, trade and educate and share. How do you profit, or why would I choose your Tradelocker platform? Have you thought about monetization and stuff?
So when a person uses Tradelocker, they're obviously going via a prop or a broker.
Yeah.
So that is, let's say, the monetization point there. And obviously when users go to a platform, you don't charge the masses, the masses of individuals.
Yes.
So if you look at any of the big apps, users tend to go for free, and then the business tends to pay. So that's our route, that's our business model. So users go there, and everything is open and ready for them. Only when they take part,
if also a good way to do it is if a streamer is streaming and a lot of people is watching, and he makes a good trade, other people make money, you can donate, send it like a tip for the trader. That's also a great idea.
Yeah, well, mentorship, tips, all of these ideas are really...
It's like Twitch, Twitch,
yeah.
streaming platform, just completely for trading. That would be great.
Yeah, if you look at our roadmap, these things are in the roadmap, but they're not high priority.
Yeah.
We're
that's what I said. It's like I talk to you every day, and I know all these updates are great. That's why I'm so excited, It's great.
When are you opening your prop?
Oh, I'm opening my prop very soon. It's, 2-3 weeks, most likely. I'm gonna definitely share this on my stories, so stay tuned, because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be very safe place to be. It's gonna be very quick payouts. It's gonna be a great platform, great community. We're gonna connect all the traders. We're gonna make events it's gonna be like a movement. You know, it's gonna not just gonna be like you come in there, you buy a challenge, and you all there by yourself. It's gonna be a one big community of traders supporting each other, helping each other to achieve their dreams and goals when it comes to trading.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be huge.
Yep.
I've obviously been hanging around with you for a little bit as well. I know your energy. I know your motivation. I know that you're driven. So I know that you're going to be huge.
Yeah, I want to make it big, you know, and for the people.
For the people. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. This is the O Takeover. We're here once again with Dovy. You can follow him on Instagram, Dovy.fx. A lot coming soon. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Peace.
Okay, now let's go drive in the SVJ.
Oh, yeah.
Come through 2 lines and that. No cold talk, I don't do mine like that. I don't spill beans, now I'm not highs like that. I hit and don't text cause I'm nice.